Back to the Supercoach Pro. Um, for my side, I actually did really bad this week, and I can explain why. Um, I had Ridley as captain. Yep, because I'm an idiot. But my score for the round was 2,087, which was really bad. I dropped off 1,000 and 1,600 scores or rankings, whatever you want to call it. So my season rank now is 2,583 as opposed to I think it was 967 last week. If we go to my team, so start from the back line, Stuart 152. He played a really good game. He actually sort of saved my score from looking sort of reasonable this week. Mills of an 84, which isn't great for what I thought he'd be. Short 74, which is understandable because Richmond just smashed St Kilda, especially in that second half of the game. Didn't even come down the back. Bowes 73, they got belted, so I actually would have thought he would have got more score for it being down that end of the ground. Chapman, pretty underwhelming. I brought him in for Caleb Daniel this week, made 200k, and I used that 200k to go to Meek to Hickey, which didn't work because Hickey got injured. I had Ridley as my captain because I'm an idiot. I didn't realise it was going to be raining, and then he gets concussed and gives me 62 points for as a captain, which isn't great. If I had McRae's VC and a decent oil pole, I would have been 200 in front, which would make me about almost close to 2,300 for the week, which would have been a really good score. But it is what it is. The thing with rookies is people cut them off too quickly. So I held on to Kaczynski, and now his break even's only 9. So if you got rid of him, he made 17k this week, and he's going to make more. But Highmore, I think, will play this weekend, so I'd hold on to him personally. But if you want to chop him for Jones, if he's not named on the Sunday game, then yeah, go for it. McRae played really well. He's probably one of the best picks I started with, and him and Walsh, really. Merritt finally had a good game. I mean, a better game than what he should have had. Laird, 94, apparently he got injured. Hopefully he doesn't miss this game because he's a bit soft sometimes. Kelly, he's really underperforming. He's only averaging 95, and I thought he was going to average 113 this year. Leon Cameron's not giving him any centre-bounce attendances, so I'll just hold on to him, and he can probably go to an M9 by the time I complete my team, which is really sad because I thought he was probably going to be the number 1 highest scoring player this year because most years when he's averaging on the park, he just goes nuts. And he's a real pod, but he's a bad pod. Goulden, he's probably on a chopping block in the next couple of weeks once he's maxed out of his price, unless he plays really well against Gold Coast. Power played really well. You should probably field him if you haven't already. Jordan bounced back like I thought he would, and people shouldn't have traded him after that one bad score. He's reset his break even again to 28, and he plays Richmond, so he'll actually probably get a bit of the ball through the midfield because we're missing Prestia and the likes of that, so he probably won't win a lot of clearances against Melbourne, so he'll probably score decent. Dow I'm going to use as a loophole because I don't really have any loophole players apart from Brockman last week, who I thought was going to be a medical sub. That's why I didn't use the VC on McRae, because I thought if I put Brockman in there, knowing my luck, Brockman comes on the last quarter or as a last minute emergency sub, and then I get a 30 or something, which wouldn't have mattered anyway because it would have been no different to Ridley. I held on to Scott, which a lot of people traded too, so this is what I mean. Don't trade your rookies that early. Like, he just made 27k. Resets his break even. So many people just get rid of their rookies so quick just because they have a couple bad scores. All they need is one big one, and they make an extra 8,200k, and that will show later on in the rounds when the cash generation starts to dry up and you're killing it because you actually maxed out your rookies fully. So my bad move last week was my only worst sort of trade I've done this year. So I downgraded Daniel for Chapman, which I should have just held on to Daniel. But I didn't believe that Daniel would be a top 8 defender, so I wanted to make coin. And then my idea from that was once Chapman's maxed to 350, trade him, swing the DPP to there, put Laird as my F6 or whichever order it'll be in, and then use that money, say 300k, to upgrade one of these midfielders into a primo, like an Oliver or Steele or someone like that. Excuse me. Been holding that in for about 10 minutes. So Hickey's got to go, but if Flynn scores well this week, I'll probably just use the McRae loophole, captain Hickey, because he's obviously not playing. I know it's a little bit of money to waste on your bench for one more week, but that's fine. And I'd actually downgrade Hickey the week after if Jordan Sweet's playing his third game, which I don't know if it will happen. Who knows with Bevo? So I'd actually have 2 rookies and then Flynn eventually to go on at some stage, leaking points. But as long as Flynn's still being named after this week, it should be okay. If he averages around 102, you always 40 points per game. Then Dunkley, he's been awesome. Like, I don't know why people wouldn't start off with Dunkley. He's got like 50% ownership now. But if you didn't start with him, what was the worst he was going to do? Even playing forward at the Dogs, he would have still averaged you 95, which is better than Dusty. Because as a Tiger supporter, Dusty doesn't care until round 14. And everyone knows that, but they still buy him. He's going to come down in price, Dusty. So I'll just wait. He doesn't care. He'll just pepper 80, 90s, have one big game, and just do that all year until round 14. Walker would be my Hickey move if I wanted to get Gawn in and Flynn sort of drops a bad score. So I'd go Walker and Hickey to Gawn and McCready, or however you say it, from the Collingwood forward, who's on the bubble. Zewell is a keeper. I put Bolton in my side because this was my, my pre-trade. I can't explain. I'll get back to that. So Impey and Warner. Warner will bounce back. They've got Gold Coast, so I'd probably keep Goulden and Warner. Rose scored really well. Yeah, so that's what I was saying, actually. My trade that I just did before, just to have a look at my team, was Bolton and McCready for Braden Campbell and Berry from Adelaide. And you're probably thinking, why would you bring in Bolton? But if you take the one bad game against Sydney, whoops, I don't know what I did there. He actually scored really well. Please go down. Nope. Dictionary again. Sorry, don't really know how to use a MacBook that well. So if we go down, he'll get his score 88, 85. Said that backwards, but that's okay. 29, 110, 110. This is the lowest he's going to be in price. So it's a fallen primo. Probably finishing the top 8 in that forward line, along with, well, maybe not Dangerfield now because of his injury. Butters isn't there. So maybe these last 2 spots would be someone like a Zorko, but he might even be a keeper. So that might be a Zorko or side bottom at the end of the year, or if Dangerfield recovers from that ankle injury. So I could grab Bolton, but in the buys, I feel like Bolton would be really handy to sort of switch it up and actually be played in the midfield too if one of these rookies sort of gets dropped and want to play him there. Then I could field Rowe. So why it's so tempting is he's a mid forward, so I can go either, which you already know that. And yeah, look, his break even's 27, so it's the lowest he's going to be, and I think he started off at about 480k or something like that. And he's a bit of a pod, so Richmond have a little bit of a tough run, but until Prestia comes back in, he'll be permanent midfield. And Prestia won't play all season anyway. His body's shocking. He only plays sort of late in the year in finals. They somehow get him up for that time when we actually need him. If you have any thoughts on those trades, if you think Campbell and Berry to Bolton and McCready is a good trade, let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions, also let me know. I'll answer that in the comment section. And that is me for the video. I am done for the day. If you're still viewing and I'm trying to work out how to get out of here, it's because I don't